Dear friends of the tiger, colleagues and partners, it's a great privilege and pleasure for me to be able to attend and speak, even by remote, at this very important meeting and discussion, which is very central to the CBD's core mission and its Aichi targets. The Global Tiger Initiative that was launched in 2008 was the mechanism that brought together the Global Tiger Recovery Program. And this program is really a twin brother of the Aichi biodiversity targets themselves, because both of them were adopted within 1 month of each other. In October 2010 in Nagoya, the Aichi targets, and in November 2010, the Global Tiger Recovery Program in St. Petersburg, Russia. So, being the twin targets, they evolved in a very similar direction, and I can happily say that the Global Tiger Recovery Program, which we represent, is similar in supporting the Aichi targets in the sense that it has a very clear goal, which is linked to a charismatic apex species. The clear goal is doubling the number of tigers. It has a very clear time frame from 2010 to 2022, which is the next year of the tiger. It is owned and driven by the 13 countries, and these countries host half of the world's human population. And this is backed by the global knowledge. More than 40 partners are participating in the Global Tiger Recovery Program. It's also a very comprehensive treatment of the subject, because it addresses the underlying causes, such as habitat destruction and the use of smart green infrastructure in that subject, wildlife crime and poaching, international strengthening, capacity building, knowledge sharing, human-wildlife conflict and community engagement, illegal trade and illicit demand, and the scientific monitoring, restoration of tiger populations and habitats, ecosystem valuation, sustainable finance, and others. So it is a comprehensive treatment of the subject. It is now also a very well-functioning programmatic mechanism, which is fully aligned towards more than 12, I think, out of the 20 Aichi targets. And there are several very distinct value-added features of the program. First, it is underpinned by the very strong and steady political will of the range countries themselves at the highest political level, such as heads of states and governments. It is breaking the silos between the sectors, and it is escorted at the ministerial level at a biennial basis, and it is conducted through an annual stock-taking and reporting. So the most recent ministerial meeting was in 2012, hosted by Bhutan, and we're looking forward to the next one, which will be in early 2015, hosted by India. It is also a very strong cross-sectoral platform. It is not really yet another silo, just looking at one species. It is a platform where traditional conservation and natural resource management communities and constituencies are joined by the finance, transport, infrastructure, mining, water people, plantation constituencies, judiciary, law enforcement, spatial planners, as well as the research and academic community. It is clearly operationally geared towards landscape approach through the 76 tiger conservation landscapes and the connecting corridors. And therefore it's really beneficial to multiple endangered species, including elephants and rhinos, who share the habitats with tigers. There is a very strong industry engagement. Started in 2012 in Singapore, it now has taken very strong footing in India, where the Confederation of Indian Industry, which has about 90,000 corporate members, has been working with the World Bank Group and other partners in establishing the Indian Wildlife Business Council, which is involving both at the national and subnational levels. The next important milestone will be a meeting of young Indian CEOs that will converge in early November in one of the tiger reserves in southern India. And that's really the future of India and the future of Asia to a significant degree. We have a very clearly established implementation, monitoring, and reporting mechanism. The integral feature of the Global Tiger Recovery Program is in this implementation plan. For the first time ever, all countries have agreed to the common use of 14 key performance indicators. And this is, again, a major innovation which is now being tested in its practical sense through the stock-taking exercise. We also have biennial implementation plans and biennial ministerial conferences. And also, importantly, there are multiple funding sources and steady interest of the donors. The initial wave of commitments, which was generated by the Tiger Summit in 2010, where the World Bank, Global Environment Facilities, other partners and NGOs have pledged their contributions to the Global Tiger Recovery Program, is now being matched by the new wave of commitments coming from the bilateral partners such as US, UK, Germany, and there are multiple channels of implementation. Projects are implemented through the World Bank, United Nations Development Program, IUCN, WWF, and multiple other partners. So these are the distinct value-added features of our platform. And this approach is now also being picked up and replicated for another species. And many of you would have heard about the Global Snow Leopard and Ecosystem Protection Program, which was approved just about a year ago in Bishkek at the Global Snow Leopard Forum, which was hosted and championed by the president of the country. And October 23rd has been announced the International Day of the Snow Leopard, and next year, 2015, will be the International Year of Snow Leopard. So this shows how the charismatic apex species can be effectively used as a mechanism for galvanizing and coordinating multi-sectoral effort to address species decline and working towards the implementation of the Aichi targets. What's next? There are very important challenges ahead of all of us, but also huge opportunities. And we really look forward to working with the CBD and its constituencies and partners in jointly addressing them. They include, first of all, mainstreaming the objectives and activities related to tiger conservation and species conservation into poverty agenda. And the main approach to that is through new community business models in the remote areas, which are the deep pockets of poverty and also the hotspots of biodiversity in so many countries. We also need to break through the mainstreaming with the climate change agenda. And here we really need to work very intensively through the sustainable landscape approaches. Sustainable landscapes are also the foundation of climate resilience. We really need to work very closely together towards nurturing and expanding cross-sectoral leadership, meaning that leaders from different sectors are really well aware of the challenges and work towards a shared and common goal. We need to really harness new technologies that are now increasingly available. These are geospatial technologies, remote sensing, crowdsourcing technologies, harness the big data. That's really where some of the big new solutions will emerge. And certainly the making very effective progress towards behavioral change communications to reduce wildlife demand. This is also fundamental, and again, this is very directly captured by the Aichi targets, and it's also part of the platform that we represent in the Global Tiger Initiative. So I look forward to our cooperation, and I wish you all very fruitful discussion and the follow-up. Thank you very much.